everybody, welcome to the fifth ever episode of the Illuminutty podcast. I hope everyone's staying warm and safe out there. Today, I know I got a bunch of snow in my area last night. I'm getting sick of this winter stuff. I'm about ready to migrate, but I can't stand SEC football, so I'll stay in Big Ten country. But I wanted to start off today's show talking about the impressive finish to our recruiting class and highlight some guys that I think could contribute early. We 24/7 Sports had us finishing number 4 in the rankings with some 5 stars like Sincere Johnson and guys like Jay Timmons and Chris Henry Jr. and even the underrated guys got a bump. And I'm just really impressed with how we finished, given the calamity of losses that we had to the transfer portal. I think we've addressed some weaknesses using the transfer portal, and it's just been really cool to see us still finish with top ranked guys. I know there's a lot of fan negativity, like why should we get excited about recruiting now when these guys are just gonna leave? But I think this recruiting class has a lot of guys that I think are gonna contribute early. Guys like Legend Bay and Jaquaden Guilford and Chris Henry Jr. And I even think like guys like Rimbert will get it some looks, and Simeon Caldwell with his versatility will get some looks, and of course Jordan Thomas. He killed it at the All American game, and I don't think people are talking about him enough. I think he could push for playing time early. He seriously improved, and he's a matchup nightmare. He's long and lanky, and I just really like the quality of guys we got in this class. What What are your thoughts on it, Podfather?
Yeah, so super excited about this class, and you brought up one of my favorite players to talk about, Sincere Johnson. I was a huge fan of his about 2 years ago, and I think that the 5 star that he got in the final rankings is well deserved. He absolutely dominated that state championship game against Shelby.
Yeah.
Um, he was hands down the best linebacker in the state of Ohio. I thought probably one of the better linebackers in the country. He goes to the All American Bowl and shows out. He had that huge tackle in the backfield during the game, and he earns that 5th star. Super excited about that. There's a lot of good depth on this in this recruiting class. 28 guys coming in who are freshmen. 18, I believe it is, or 19 in the transfer portal, some number like that. That's a lot of guys, turning over your roster. Over 40 guys, which is usually, almost somewhere around half your roster, almost close to half your roster. But they're good players, Mika, and that's the thing is, are there some projects in this? Yeah, you're going to have some projects. You're going to have some depth pieces, but they're very good, talented players. The guys we got in the portal, for the most part, the majority of them are well proven, experienced guys in college football, a couple upside guys, and then really good athletic people in the recruiting class. And I'm like you, Guilford. I am so intrigued by Guilford and what he was able to do at the All American Bowl. People are raving about him. Him and Chris Henry Jr. together combined, I think one of them are going to get a ton of playing time as freshmen, maybe both.
And I think having them in the same class and having them possibly be on the field together is just gonna help each other, because it's just you can't possibly cover them both, along with the other assets we have. So it's just gonna open things up for each other. That's why a lot of high end players. That's why they all want to play with other high end players. Unless you're like a quarterback or something, you want to share the room with other talented guys because it just means that they can't cover all of them. So you're gonna get yours if you're good enough. So, and I know people were kind of down on the Arthur Smith hire because he's didn't do that great in the NFL and he's more of a run first guy. But I think he's really gonna help the offensive line. He's really gonna help the run game, and the more we help those aspects of the game, the more we can get Julian saying time and open things up for JJ Smith and the other guys in that room. So I like what we've been doing, and to that note, I really want to talk about the special teams hire that we got from Illinois. I really like this guy, Robbie Disher. We stole one from Illinois. I think he's full of promise. He's very aggressive on how he runs his special teams. Um, they do a lot of blocked punts and kicks and stuff. That's been going up every year. Every team he's coached on, he brings an aggressiveness on kick returns, scheming up openings and stuff. And I think he's gonna drool over guys like Legend Bag, getting him involved in the kicking game early. I think the talent at Ohio State is something he's gonna just salivate over. Not to say that guys at Illinois and Oklahoma State and his past destinations have been slouches, but he's not worked with talent like this before. And like I said, I like his aggressiveness. And you can say, yeah, uh, kick, kick and punt blocking and stuff like that comes down to luck. But when you look at his track record and he's consistently done that at a high level and a productive level, there's got to be something to it or it wouldn't be so consistent. So I'm really excited about what he brings to the table. And I like how Lion Day is addressing a, a weakness that the fan base has seen for a while with a really high level special teams coach. What are your thoughts?
It's about time. It's about time. I have been saying for a while now under Ryan Day that one of his greatest weaknesses is the fact that he doesn't look or utilize special teams as a weapon. It absolutely can be a weapon to win you football games. You go back and you can look at a handful of football games, three of them that just off the top of my head, the Georgia in the playoffs, um, Michigan last year in 2024, and then Indiana in the Big Ten championship game in 2025, where if special teams would have been better, we probably would have won. And that's tough to swallow as an Ohio State fan, and I know it's tough for Ryan Day to swallow when he looks at his overall success and he looks at his losses, which there aren't many, but he looks at some of those losses and he thinks to himself, "Man, what would have been if?" It wasn't like Ohio State got blown, got their doors blown off. They were unable to be successful in special teams, and that aided in those losses. And Urban Meyer, Jim Tressel looked at special teams as an absolute must-win weapon. And if Ryan Day takes that approach, given the talent that you mentioned, Mika, and I'll throw the name Turbo Rogers out there as well as a potential weapon in the special teams, along with a Legend Bay. That these guys absolutely can flip the field on special teams on punt returns, give you great field position on kick returns if you're aggressive. And then, like you mentioned, block punts, block field goals, and of course, putting the biscuit in the basket from 40 yards and in. If you have a 27-yard field goal, that needs to become automatic, especially in a dome. 50 yards and beyond, okay, I understand what hey, that's that's not a chip shot there. That's a maybe a 50% possibly, maybe even lower. But I mean, how many easy field goals have we missed because we've allowed the pressure to get to us between the ears, as Bart has pointed out before. So hopefully he'll bring that confidence to the field goal unit as well.
And that's the thing about him. I think he brings a swagger to special teams. Like he brings an aggression. Like I said, he's known for kicking punt blocks and scheming up big things on kick returns and things. So I think he brings a swagger and an energy that I haven't seen out of a special teams guy before, and he's consistently elevated programs with histories of poor special teams and made them some of the top teams in the country. I mean, when he was at Oklahoma State, he took them from like 88th or 89th ranked special team to like 8th or 7th in the country the following year. Like, he's just got an impressive resume, and I love how we were able to, kind of steal one away from Illinois and um, Brett Bielema and get one over on him as much as we can because y'all know I'm not a big fan of Brett. So I'm really excited. I did that Lion Day seems to be prioritizing special teams. I agree with you. I think Turbo Rogers is going to be a great option in the return game as well. Although I think he might see a little more time at running back with um, Isaiah West and Bo Jackson missing some time. So I think Legend Bay will be leaned on quite a bit, especially with how highly Ryan Day has spoken of him and the hype surrounding this young man and the dynamic athlete and just tremendous speed he plays with on the football field. I think it's going to be something special. I don't want to hype him up too much because, like I said, he's young, but I'm very
Really
excited
excited
about
about what
Yeah, I am too. I think that when you look at special teams, it's it was a portion and a unit of this team that was ignored too long by Ryan Day, and I think it's good that he's addressed it. And as far as some of the Ohio State fans who are out there poo-pooing some of this, um, I'm like, you can't have it both ways, man. You can't ask him to address something, and then when he addresses it, you are negative about it as well. Like he's at least doing something. Now, if I can sit and I can listen to you say, hey, I don't like the hire for whatever reason, but the hire and who you brought in is automatically better than what we had before. So
yeah.
that's the way I look at it.
I mean, it has to be addressed when you're losing gains on something as simple as like a chip shot field goal. That has to be addressed. It would be different if we were, you know, if it. I don't understand poo pooing it when we get excited when we address offensive line weaknesses, defensive line weaknesses. Yeah, special teams is special teams. It may not be as big a part of football as offense or defense, but I'd rather have a good special teams than not have one. It's like that old saying goes, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So why? Well, I don't understand why a lot of the fan bases like, oh well, it's just special teams. Well, yeah, but when you need big a momentum shift and stuff, special teams can provide the juice you need.
Yes, and I can give you the perfect example. 2024 against Indiana at home. You
Exactly.
he puts in uh um oh, who was it that returned the punt for a touchdown?
Um,
Caleb Downs. Duh.
Caleb
Duh.
Downs.
Oh, at first I'm thinking, wait a minute, who was Caleb? He puts Caleb Downs in for a punt return, returns it for a touchdown, flips the entire game, ball game.
Yep.
Momentum was gone from Indiana at that point. So you're 100% right in your analogy, Amika, and I am also glad that Ryan Day has decided to address it. It should be good, should be better at least.
And Ryan Day also made some interesting comments when asked about the transfer portal, and I want to get your thoughts on that. I have my own theory. When they asked about the transfer portal, he kind of deflected and turned it back on the recruiting class and said things like, Ohio State's main goal is still to develop through recruiting and stuff. And I've heard a lot of people on other podcasts and in other chats saying, "Well, yeah, but he's just doing damage control because he doesn't want recruits to think that they're going to be recruited over by transfer portal guys." No one really believes that anymore, and I truly think that's wrong. I think Ryan Day fully intends to still put major value in recruiting. Now, it's going to be like the strategy me and Vader came up with, but recruiting is still going to matter. These relationships with these kids are still going to matter, even if they go somewhere else, because even if they do go somewhere else, if they pop in a portal later or not have yet another program, those relationships are still going to matter. Yeah, money plays a part in it, but it's not going to be everything for every kid.
That is a great point, Mika. I had not thought of it that way. Well done by you. Pat yourself on the back. Um, so I think the article that you and Vader wrote a few weeks ago, when it comes to recruiting, relates to this as well.
Yeah.
And we might not see a 28-person class built the same way that we've seen in the past. We might not see a 20-person class built the same way as we've seen in the past. But what we will see is we will see a better concentration on trying to make sure that they get the players in Ohio State who are going to be here for at least 2 years to allow themselves the opportunity to be developed. Even the guys who are 3 stars, who are looked at as quote unquote developmental talent, you have to at least give yourselves 2 years in the program for you to see, okay, now that we've had 2 years, 2 off seasons, 2 full seasons to watch you in practice, here's where we see you. Is it possible for you to get on the field or not? If the answer is probably not, then okay, good luck in the portal. You know, we'll support you in that. If it's, hey, you've been here for 2 years and it looks like you're about to be able to step on the field, I think Ohio State needs to refine their their I guess ability to speak to that player to keep them for the third year. One of the things that I think was an issue that they were not prepared for this past offseason were how many 2-year players left to go get more money than what they perceived they were worth in NIL value when they hadn't really got on the field yet. Bryce West, Aaron Scott being the two big ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The freshman guys who all left, there's a lot of smoke around that you probably don't want to get into on this podcast, and I understand that. But I will say this, like those guys didn't even give themselves 2 years, you know. Um, so I think Ohio State will tweak this thing. They'll look at recruiting and they'll say, how can we make sure that we put ourselves in a better situation so that we can attack the portal similarly to what we did in 2024, which we then equated to a national championship, versus how they had to do it this offseason, which is we need to attack the portal aggressively with a lot of guys because we need to fill a ton of holes on our roster.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And to your point, I think that um, of course transfer portal is still going to be important, but like I said, with the you can't take one season in a vacuum and say, "Oh, this is how it's going to be from now on." Freshmen are leaving, all this stuff. We're gonna see this from now on. I won't address it all here, but there were extenuating circumstances to some of those, and I'm not gonna get into it in detail here because I'm sure we'll cover it on Patreon and other shows later on once I get the okay from Vader and you guys and everything to discuss it. But there were extenuating circumstances going on there. And if anything, like if I'm a kid, I would look at this year as kind of a cautionary tale because a lot of kids that went into the portal did not find homes and had to go down a level or uh, to Division Two, or in some cases aren't playing uh, won't be playing college football at all. So, I mean, like you can say, yeah, this is going to be the way of the world, but you also got to think these kids are also going to see the negative post and stuff about kids saying, "Wow, I look at where they ended up," and the backlash on those sort of things. So I don't know. It could work both ways. So I'm curious to see how these next few years play out. I think, like, like I said, you still gonna have kids that say, look at what happened to so and so. They thought they were gonna go into the portal and end up at Alabama, and instead they're playing for Northwest South Virginia State or something. Like, you never know. So it's a gamble, and it's always gonna be a gamble. But there's two sides to every coin, and it may not always land the way you like it. And I think kids are gonna see that more this season because a lot of kids did not come out of the portal where they thought they were gonna come out, and some of them didn't come out at all. So you gotta take that into consideration too.
Yeah, which is sad
Yeah,
because you now let's also not be naive. Some of these kids were forced to go to the portal. They had
yeah,
conversations with their coaches. The coaches basically looked at them as being expendable because they wanted that position to go after somebody else. And so not every kid who is in the portal is there by choice, but there is a very large percentage who are, to your point, Mika, who were fed a bunch of bull from their agent or from their uncle or from their parents, and they are now living with hard truths. I think the one of the um, cautionary tales would be looking at Nico Imaleva from UCLA when he was at Tennessee, making $2 million. Asked for more. Tennessee said nope. He goes to the portal. Best deal he can get is going back home to UCLA for $1.5 million. Took a $500,000 a year pay cut because of bad advice.
yep. And I think things like that will happen more, especially at high premium positions like quarterback. But I also think you're gonna see more kids say, that's not for me because I've, I've learned my lesson. I've seen it go bad too. So maybe, maybe this last year will also kind of bring more of those kids out, and we'll have more kids stay and be like, Okay, I got it pretty good here. Let's develop under Ryan Day. I'm leaving. Ohio State will take care of me. I may not always get the highest amount of money, but I'm getting money, and they believe in me, and they think I can contribute here, so I'm gonna stay. That's just my thoughts on it. Like, I've seen a lot of negativity on social media about why do you why do you still care about recruiting? It's not gonna matter anymore, and I just wanted to address it. I know that I kind of touched on this topic in previous shows, but it's just been getting to me with all the negativity I've seen on social media lately. So I wanted to go in more depth about it and give more detailed thoughts on it. And like I said, maybe this will serve as cautionary tales to more kids out there, and those will be the type of kids that come and want to be Buckeyes and be a part of the brotherhood. The brotherhood's not dead; it's still there. We just gotta find the right type of kids that want to perpetuate it, and I think we did in this recruiting class. And I love the way Ryan Day has gone about addressing weaknesses in the off season, and yeah, it's special teams, but like I said, special teams are important too, and I love the energy that Robbie brings to special teams and his track record of aggressive special teams play. I'm in favor of lots of
Lots of
aggression
aggression
when it comes to
comes to
football. I know I'm nice everywhere else, but when it comes to football, I like aggression, and I love people that attack the sport with passion and energy, and I think he does that. So I'm excited about it. And Connor Hawkins, I really like this kid as a kicker. I'm with you. I think
I
he
think
should
he should
have a
have a
sound
sound
effect
effect.
every time he goes for a field goal kick. Something I think that'd be cool. We need a hawk scream or something.
Yeah, we need to make that happen. We need to. Hey, Ross Bjork. I mean, you're starting all these new traditions. It's time to start one for the kicker, man. I think you need to make kicking cool at Ohio
Yeah,
State. Make kicking cool. That is one way you can get better kickers to come to your school is make it kind of cool, man. If the kicker kind of becomes a celebrity on campus, guess what? Kids are going to want to come here and kick. Make
yeah,
it cool to kick. There you go. That sounds like a new hat at Ohio State.
yeah. Let's make it cool to kick. Make that a tagline for the video or something. Make
Love it.
that a hey everybody, make that a hashtag on social media. Let's get it trending.
It's cool to kick.
Yep, we'll bring in the next Mike Nugent. You never know.
That would be all right with me.
I love Nude. Nude was awesome.
Well, and there was your sound effect, nude, right? Everybody, the
Yeah, everybody did it.
105,000 strong, all screaming the first part of your last name. Like, how cool was that, man? So,
I did it when I did it when I was little.
yeah.
So
So even if Connor Hawkins doesn't have the bird sound effect, the hawk
you would,
effect, maybe we could all go, hawk. You know what I mean? Something different, as fans get to. A bunch of crows start calling all around the entire stadium.
I don't know. We need something.
Was it,
We
remember
need
remember
to.
angels in the outfield where they were flapping their arms like angels' wings? Maybe we do that. Maybe the whole stadium starts flapping their arms.
I'll have to wait to put my shoulder to get better, but I'll flap right along with you once it gets healed up.
Yeah, as long as you don't do the chicken flap, we don't want that. We want full,
Yeah,
beautiful
no,
wings.
no one wants a chicken unless it's on a dinner plate.
There you go. Or in a bucket, right? KFC.
Yep, I'm more of a Popeyes girl myself.
Really?
Yep, I love Popeyes.
It's pretty good. I like chicken in general, so I'll just eat about all of it.
Yep, I'm not picky when it comes to food.
No, me neither, obviously.
Uh, More you to love.
That's there you go, Mika. I love your positivity, girl.
Tell Sarah I said that.
I will.
I don't know if she watches or not, but tell her I said that.
I will let her know.
I'm gonna have to get Andre on every time I'm not on is when he comes on. Like I'm starting to take it personally.
Uh-oh. Oh, she's calling you out, Andre.
No, JR.
Oh, JR. Oh, okay. Jonathan Rose. I thought you said Andre. Oh, well, I tell you what, Miko, remind me, and then I'll make a point to make sure that you're on with JR next time.
I was teasing him on his video that he dropped today about it. I was like, I'm starting to take it personal, buddy.
It had nothing to do with JR. I promise you, it was just a scheduling thing. So,
I know, I was just kidding.
but
But
you'll be on Thursday night, so which is tomorrow night. So, if you enjoyed the sultry sounds of one Mika and her knowledge dropping, you can catch her tomorrow on the OHIO podcast, 8 o'clock Eastern, live for another roundtable.
yeah, I can't wait. And guys, do me a favor, like, share, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see as always, and um, you know, hype this up, help me grow the channel. It's small right now, but I really am confident in what we're doing. I think I'm getting better at it every day, and I want to continue to grow and build this community. And I'm thankful for you, Podfather, for giving me the opportunity to uh, both contribute to the OHIO podcast and start my own show and try to build my own following here. A lot of podcasts I don't think would do that, and I really appreciate the opportunity. And please hit up my girl TG. He's the Spectrum podcast as well. She's killing it over there, doing a great job. And check out our Patreon. We really are building a fun community over there, and I'm really excited about what we got cooking up for our Super Bowl special. That's that's you guys are amazing. You're a bunch of goofballs, and I love working with you. You're hilarious.
We got to make it, it's the off season. We got to make it fun, Mika. Thank you so
Yep.
much for another great episode of the Illuminati, and thank you for those kind words.
Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
OH,
Io.
go Bucks and